Shabbat Shalom. Well, in just a couple of days, we'll be celebrating Chanukah. And there were a couple of things that kind of put Chanukah into our sights, for me anyway. One was stranger's act of kindness from a friend who introduced me to this stranger who offered her services to me and instantly brightened my week with her offer of help. And then the other one was today when the sun came out. It was actual light. And it was such a good feeling. I felt like singing Zippity-Doo-Dah. Or this song on page 216. Jews of old had gladness, light, joy, and honor, so may we. Page 216. La Yehudi hayta ora besimcha besason mikah. La Yehudi hayta ora besimcha Sason Mikah. Ken
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It is my pleasure now to invite up our winner of tonight's Blessing Lottery, Linda Goldman, as we turn to page 14 and welcome Shabbat with the lighting of our Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehalaknir shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, eternal source of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת. Amen. Turn to page 34 for Lecha Dodi. So everyone, after Cantor Michaels, whether you're here or anywhere, sing after him.
Lecha Dodi,
Lecha Dodi,
לקראת כלה, בני שבת, נקבלה, lecha dodi, לקראת כלה, בני שבת, נקבלה, שמור וזכור בדיבורך, והשמיענו לך מיוחד לאדוני אחד ושמורך בשם תפארת ונטילה lecha dodi לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה lecha dodi לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה
לקראת שבת לכו ונרחה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה בסוף המעשה במחשבה תחילה
lecha dodi
לקראת כלה
בני שבת
בני שבת
נקבלה
קבלה
lecha dodi
חדודי
לקראת כלה
לקראת כלה
בני שבת
בני שבת
נקבלה
קבלה
אוי ושלום עטרת עלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה בואי חלה lecha dodi
חדודי
לקראת כלה
לקראת כלה
בני שבת
בני שבת
נקבלה
קבלה
lecha dodi
חדודי
לקראת כלה
לקראת כלה
בני שבת
בני שבת
נקבלה lecha dodi
חדודי
לקראת כלה
לקראת כלה
בני שבת
בני שבת
נקבלה
קבלה
lecha dodi
חדודי
לקראת כלה
לקראת כלה
בני שבת
בני שבת
נקבלה
קבלה
lecha dodi
חדודי
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 חדודי.
So you may have noticed we have a pretty packed house tonight. We had a wonderful Hillel dinner for our students and their families, and so to bring a little extra warmth into this room tonight as we get ready to begin the main part of our service, I would like everyone to look around, just around your seat, find someone you don't know, and introduce yourself to them. Tell them what you're doing here. Make a new friend. Okay, enough new friends. No, I'm just kidding. So I hope all of you had the chance to introduce yourselves. to somebody new. I know, that's what happens. It's okay, we're all Jews, it's fine. But don't forget, you can introduce yourselves to new people in this room anytime. Not during the service, but any other time. So please do that. Meet new people. This is a wonderful place. We're happy to welcome anyone into our community as we turn to page 42 for the Reader's Kaddish.
Yitkadal, Yitkadash Merabah. Amen. V'alma divrach yuteh v'yamlich malchuteh. Mechayechon v'yomechon v'chayeh l'chol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, ubizman karim, v'meru, amen. Yehesh merabah mevorach, le'alam ulal me'almaya, yitbarach. Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yitalev, v'yithalal, shemei dekudesha, brichu, leila min kol bechata v'shirata, t'ushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, v'yimeru, amen.
We turn now to page 49. And I'd like to see all of those Hillel students, especially reading responsively with me. Do you all have the pages? 40? Actually, I could stop everyone else from reading. I'd just like to hear their voice. No. We read responsively. We are loved by an unending love. We are guided by the still small voice within us. We are loved by an unending love, a ner tamid to be tended from generation to generation, and a gentle love, giving meaning to our existence, structure to our lives, and of all the generations who have embraced their covenant. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai, who loves our people Israel and all your people with an unending love.
Top of page 56. If you're lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your might. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night. Close your eyes and listen.
Quiet yourself there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter that gets in the way and listen, listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you will hear if you listen, listen to our God. You can hear it from the top of the highest hill or from the valley below. It can come from the edge of the universe. It can come from within your soul. Close your eyes and listen. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Listen, listen to our God. Listen, listen to our God.
Together on page 57. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי הייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
In this special time in our service, when we've just prayed about God's love and our love of God, we turn to the love that brings us the families that are our community. And so it is at this time that I am so honored to invite Liam and Asher Omates to come up with their parents, Abigail and Sean. Liam is 2 years old and is going to come up with his baby brother and bring his baby brother up. They'll both be receiving their Hebrew names.
ברוכים הבאים בשם אדוני, ברכתוכם מבית אדוני.
As they're coming forward, we are going to let you know they're going to be receiving beautiful gifts of candlesticks and a baby book and certificate for tuition here at our Temple Israel Nursery School program. We can't wait to see them both there.
Okay, let everybody see. Oh, you woke up. Hi, Asher. Liam, are you enjoying being a big brother now? Come on over, guys. Come closer. Okay, I think we'll start. We'll go oldest to youngest. Can I borrow this? Liam. I am so happy to see you tonight as a big brother here on the Bima to get your Hebrew name. From now on, your Hebrew name will be Liam Meir, and we are so happy to have you here as part of our temple community. And where's that little one? Asher, come on over. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. It's not going to hurt. Asher, you are the window through which we see the future. And we are so happy to give you the Hebrew name, Asher Ezra. And that's a really great name, if I might say so myself. And you are, I know, do you see your family? Look, they're so proud. Your grandparents, Kimberly Eppelman, Mikhail Eppelman, Marston, and Maurice Omates. And you are blessed, both of you, with 5 proud great-grandparents, Joyce and Richard Confer, Alexander Eppelman, Virginia Omates, and Margaret Bartman. We love you. We welcome you. We can't wait to celebrate many, many more simchas with the 2 of you in the future. As together we say, Amen. Amen.
So Asher, Ezra, you know.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו בזמן הזה.
It is wonderful to see how many seats are filled on this Shabbat. I saw the last 2 people get the last 2 seats almost in the corner over here, which once again validates for us why we need to expand, right? We need more seats, right? Can't you see the day when this is going to be a gymnasium only for kids? How many of you think that's a good idea? And we have a bigger space for us to pray in every Friday night. Raise your hands again. I wanted more pictures of people raising their hands, okay, because it just doesn't come out of the ground that these things grow, but it is in the process, and we're very excited that that process is suddenly beginning to be fertilized and grow, and we will see in my lifetime, which is a long time, very soon, exciting announcements, because we can't do what our ancestors did, which is split the sea. We can't knock walls down. We can't find more room, and we need room so all of us can pray together as we turn to page 62 for Mi Chamocha.
Yes, I have. Here's my Bible. Sound great, let's do that again.
ונאמר כי יפדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
I received a call this afternoon from a Nigerian prince. It's true, he didn't want any money, and he wasn't exactly a prince. Actually, he was a gentleman running for the presidency of Nigeria. And he, through a connection, through a friend, he wanted some counsel on issues of Jewish consequence. So if things work out well, I could be the Jewish advisor to the president of Nigeria, which is tantamount to being the sommelier at a Starbucks, but nonetheless, an important position nonetheless. And so as we turn to this next prayer on page 64, I'd like to change the translation just a bit. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, over the people of Nigeria, and all the world, and over Jerusalem.
Continue together at the bottom of page 69. Prayer invites us to let God's presence suffuse our spirits, to let God's will prevail in our lives. Prayer cannot bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. Blessed are you, O God, who renews all things.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. As you're seated, we pray silently. Be holy, hear the whisper, the quiet, gentle voice. Be holy, hear the whisper that helps us make the choice to be like God. To be like God. Be holy, hear the whisper, present every day. Be holy, hear the whisper, it teaches us the way to be like God. To be like God. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Be holy, hear the whisper that guides each word and deed. Be holy, hear the whisper, reminding us we need to be like God. To be like God. Be holy, hear the whisper, the warmth of love's embrace. Be holy, hear the whisper, giving us the grace to be like God. To be like God. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Be holy, hear the whisper. Be holy, hear the whisper. Be holy, hear the whisper.
This morning, our building was filled with our ECC families as we were celebrating our magic moments for Chanukah. And it was wonderful. And it really is, truly feels the warmth of the Chanukah season, the miracles. So this morning, I was in charge of the blessings, so lighting the Hanukkah and the Shabbat candles, which I did 4 times. So for me, it's already like the 5th night of Hanukkah. But it really does make you aware of the miracles. It makes you feel very connected to the idea of hope and wonder and light. And I think when we get to this part of our prayer service, which is the Mishaberach, that's what a lot of us are praying for miracles, for hope, for light. And so we turn to the words of Mishaberach. I'm on page 72. I think it's also on page 86, so wherever you happen to be. And think of those people in your families who need a little extra light, who need the Hanukkah miracle, as we sing together the words of the Mishaberach.
Mishaberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Le'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach Imoteinu Mekor HaBracha La'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with Rufuah Shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
So, Rabbi Marla talked a little bit about the fact that it's Hanukkah coming up. Hold on. Rabbi Marla talked that it's Hanukkah coming up, and so that really gets me excited. You know, the world is a little bit crazy out there. If you've been following the news this week, you know there's been issues at the border. There have been stories happening in Argentina. There are things going on all around the world so crazy that it even feels like there's earthquakes around us. Actually, really, just a serious comment about the earthquake in Alaska. I know Rabbi Marla actually has a connection to Alaska. She served as the chief rabbi of Alaska when she was a student, and our prayers and thoughts do go out to everybody there. But here, in this sanctuary, I really want to talk about Chanukah. So what are your favorite thoughts about Chanukah? What comes to mind when you think of Chanukah celebrations? Latkes, great. Raise your hands if latkes was your first answer. Okay, good. Anybody else? Candles, good. We're going to light some Chanukah candles. What else? Hold on, what happened here? Presents, right? Chanukah gelt, Chanukah presents. Somebody's saying something here. Oh, gelt. Okay, good. Gelt, yes. What else? Sufganiyot, jelly donuts, dreidels. Yes, Lucy. Gelt. Chocolate gelt? Okay, chocolate gelt, yeah. Family gathering together. Last one, yes. Say it really loudly. The Maccabees, right? The story of the Maccabees. So what of those is actually the right thing? What is it that our tradition says? It turns out that I, rather than giving a traditional sermon tonight, wanted to take you on an investigation of the Talmud, the hardest thing to study in Jewish tradition. We're going to do it here in the next 7 minutes. You are going to become masters of Talmud in the next 7 minutes. If you don't already have one of these sheets, raise your hand. If you don't want one of these sheets, you can put your hands down. If not, my colleagues are going to pass a few extras out. You can share with the person next to you because you met them earlier in our service. So what is the basic rule of Chanukah? What's the basic thing that we need to know? Well, it says it in the very first sentence, right under the basic rule of Chanukah. Tanu Rabbanan mitzvat Chanukah ner ish uveto. The basic rule of Chanukah The basic mitzvah is that each day you should have a light kindled by one person in your family. In other words, you have to take that Chanukah, that 9-branched Hanukkah menorah with 8 candles and a helper candle. Each night of Hanukkah, all you have to do is light that. One person in your household has to light a Chanukah. That's all you need to do. That's all the rabbis tell us. That's their whole explanation of your job on Hanukkah. They don't talk about dreidels. They don't talk about gelt. They certainly don't talk about latkes because it makes the whole house smell bad. Well, good at first and then bad when you go outside and realize it's also in your clothing, right? And actually, if you go one step further in this text, it says, for those who are meticulous in the performance of mitzvot, kindle one Chanukah for each person in your house. Okay, so if you are really pious, if you really think you're a good Jew, you don't just light one, you light actually one for you, one for your kids, one for your grandkids, one for every person in your house. And then it goes on, and this is just above where the yellow starts in that first paragraph. And the mihadrin min ha-mihadrin, that's like the really, really religious of you, the ones who really think you're something special. Adjust the number of lights daily. In other words, one day light 1 candle, the next day light 2 candles, 3, 4, 5, or the first day light 8 candles, then 7, then 6, then 5. Just do a different amount of candles on every night. In other words, the rabbis don't even tell you to light 1 candle on the first night, 2 on the second night. They just say light candles. If you're really special, light 1 for every person in your house. And if you really, really want to be cool, light the right number of candles for the day. And then there are these 2 guys, the house of Hillel, the house of Shammai, 2 very famous rabbinic households. Students who studied under 1 or 2 different teachers who have a disagreement. Beit Shammai, I'm in the yellow in the top paragraph still. Beit Shammai, the house of Shammai say, on the first day, one kindles 8 lights. And from there on, gradually decreases the number of lights until on the last night of Hanukkah, he kindles 1 light. So you start with 8, and you go down to 1. Interesting. The other guy, the house of Hillel says, on the first day, kindle 1 light, and from there on, gradually increase the number of lights until on the last day you kindle 8 lights. How many of you follow the house of Hillel? That second method. Pretty strange. How did he win the argument? He wins almost every argument. Almost every argument. Actually, it's not true. There are a couple of arguments that he wins. So this is a fascinating argument between the rabbis. Now, if you go to the next paragraph, down at the bottom of this first page, you have 4 different possible answers to what the right answer is. One is that you follow Beit Shammai. That's in that little pink highlighted section. And the number of lights corresponds to the incoming days. In other words, there are days in front of us. There's 1, and then there's 8, and then there's 7 days left, and then there's 6 days left, and 5 days left, and 4 days left, okay? The second option is in red. You follow Beit Hillel, which is the outgoing days. In other words, you light the one that's happening and the ones behind you. So the number of days behind you actually grows each day. And the third option is in yellow, corresponds to the bulls of the festival of Sukkot. What the heck is that talking about? Who knew that there was anything having to do with bull sacrifices on Chanukah? Do me a favor, raise your hands if you sacrificed a bull on the night of Chanukah, any night of Chanukah last year. You did. No? Okay. No bull sacrifices. Well, it turns out that if you look very closely at the festival of Chanukah, they actually weren't celebrating Chanukah because in the days when the temple was being recovered by our friend Judah Maccabee, they missed, while the Greeks were in control of the temple, they missed the festival of Sukkot. And so when they finally came back into the temple, it was okay for them to sacrifice again, and they first wanted to celebrate this great festival of Sukkot, which was one of the most important holidays. So important it was called Hechag, the holiday. And so the third possible option is that you do it according to the bull sacrifices of Sukkot. 1 the first day, 2 the second day, 3 the third day, and so on and so forth. It must have been an unbelievable barbecue party back in the day. And then my favorite rabbinic verse anywhere in Talmud is in green at the bottom of this page. The fourth concept is that one elevates to a higher level in matters of sanctity, and one does not downgrade. In other words, they finally, after all of this argument, the rabbis are talking about which house is right, Hillel, Shammai, Hillel, Shammai, Hillel, Shammai, and the answer finally is given to us in this beautiful line, that when we're doing things special, we should probably do it more and more and more, as opposed to less and less and less. So rather than lighting 8 and going less each night of Hanukkah, the winner of the argument is the one who says, every night of Hanukkah, we should do just a little bit more. 1 candle, 2, all the way up until 8 candles on the last night of Hanukkah. Now turn the paper over. The next question the rabbis address is, where do I put this menorah? I know I'm supposed to light it, but where do I put it? And the sages tell us in that first line, put your Hanukkah lamp at the entrance to your house on the outside. Why? Why should we put our Hanukkah menorah outside our house? Won't the wind blow it out? Yes. Say it really loudly. They didn't hear you. So other people can see it exactly right. What's the point of celebrating if it's just for you and your family? You want everybody in the community. But if you live upstairs, or if it's dangerous, well, you can't actually put it outside your window upstairs because it might fall on the ground. Or if it's dangerous, if somebody says you're not allowed to do it, like maybe you're in the hospital and you can't light a Chanukah inside a hospital, then it's okay to put it in the middle of the room, somewhere where it's safe. Now, it's interesting, just as an aside, I learned this when I was studying with somebody earlier this week. What was the danger the rabbis were worried about? Were they worried about somebody being anti-Semitic, like sometimes we might think of it in this world? The answer is no. They were worried about a group of people called the Zoroastrians. What did Zoroastrians worship? They worshipped fire. It was another people living in the same time. They were people who worshipped fire. It was their job, the Zoroastrians, to grab all the fire that had escaped from their temple and bring it back to their temple. So what the rabbis actually were probably talking about was that if you put your menorah outside your house and there were Zoroastrians living in your neighborhood, they would steal your menorah to take the fire back to their temple. Okay, that's what the rabbis were probably really talking about. Just a fun fact. Rabbis were afraid of Zoroastrians stealing. Today, this year, beware of the Zoroastrians coming to your houses to steal your Chanukah. Okay, then we're getting to almost the end here. It's the fourth paragraph where it says, but what is this Hanukkah? Remember all the way at the beginning of our conversation tonight, you said Hanukkah was about latkes and oil and dreidel and gelt. The story of the miracle Rabbi Marlowe was talking about earlier, and we haven't heard anything about it. The rabbis don't even mention it until deep in their conversation in the Talmud. And finally they get here and they actually ask the famous question in Aramaic, my Chanukah. What is this thing called Hanukkah? Why are we having this conversation? By the way, the conversation, this is just excerpts. It takes pages to get through this dialogue. Why? The rabbis ask. Why are we doing this? The last section that is highlighted in yellow. When the Hasmonean monarchy overcame the Greeks and emerged victorious over them, they searched and found one cruse of oil that was placed with the seal of the high priest, undisturbed by the Greeks. And there was sufficient oil there to light the candelabrum, the candelabra in the temple, only for one day. A miracle occurred, and they lit their candelabrum from it 8 days. And then in red, the next year. They didn't even celebrate that first year. What they did that first year, we already talked about. They started sacrificing bulls because they were celebrating Sukkot. And then the next year, the first Chanukah happens. So that's interesting. Because when the actual miracle of the oil takes place, according to the rabbis, they didn't celebrate Chanukah. It wasn't until later that they started to celebrate it. And if you look at the very bottom of the page, it begs the question, why are we doing this still some 2,000 years later? Right? We're not celebrating Sukkot with bulls any longer. We're not in the moment where the Hasmoneans' victory is such a big deal to us anymore. So what is it? Well, The rabbis teach us there are a few things that Hanukkah is really about. First of all, it is a wintertime Sukkot, a time to give thanks to God for the incredible blessings of this world. But it is also a time when we talk about our freedom and self-determination. And so it actually brings us all the way back to the beginning of my conversation tonight when I mentioned that there are issues of immigration happening at our borders. We as Jews can be so thankful that we have the ability to be self-determined, that we have freedoms, that we can be who we want to be. It also talks about putting that Chanukah outside your window. Not just so that you can celebrate in your home, but so that other people can see, because we can be proud to be a Jewish community in this world. We can be proud of who we are. And finally, when you look outside at this time of year, and you look around us at the things happening everywhere, in the news, in Alaska, everywhere, it sometimes feels like it's a bit of a dark world. Our job on Hanukkah is to bring light back to the world, to show our faces, to show our pride, and to do what the rabbis have asked of all of you. Next week, when we start this celebration, take your Chanukah and proudly display it as you light 1 or 8 candles on that first night. Shabbat Shalom.
A lamp that kept on burning, a miracle, they say. But the world has kept on turning. Are there miracles today? Everyone who lights the candles has a bit of ancient spark. We are miracles lighting up the dark. We are lights, lights of memory, remembering times gone by. We are glowing, growing miracles. We are lights, we are lights, we are lights, shining on and on. A row of burning candles shines light upon your face, linking you and me and all of us to a far-off holy place. But the blazing of the candles is not the only light. Look at all of us shining here tonight. We are lights, lights of memory, remembering times long gone. We are glowing, growing miracles. We are lights, we are lights, we are lights, shining on. We are lights, shining on. We are lights, shining on and on.
It's my pleasure to call to the Bima, member of our executive committee, Bryant Frank, to deliver our congregational announcements. And in case you hadn't heard, we have a wonderful announcement from the clergy team. Rabbi Ariana Gordon had a beautiful baby boy. Came a little bit early, but he is perfect and adorable. I got to see him this week, Raphael Lev, and he's absolutely beautiful. So another clergy kid.
Shabbat Shalom. Josh, thanks for that wonderful devar. It's wonderful when we can learn together. And I, for one, am happy, since I really don't like shopping very much, to learn that I do not have to go to the mall and look for a bull. We have a couple schedule changes here that take out your pens, take note. Tomorrow morning, Shabbat service, which is usually held at 10:30 in the sanctuary, will now be held for tomorrow only at 11 o'clock. And next week, our Kabbalat Shabbat on Friday, which is December 7th, we're going to begin a half hour early at 7 o'clock. So join us, please, for a family-friendly Chanukah-themed service for everyone with the Shabbat singers and the Sufganiyot and the Chanukah treats. All right? You can still order, it's not too late, you can still order Hanukkah dinner through Epic Catering, and their list of delicious foods and latkes is in the November Messenger. You have to make your orders 48 hours before delivery, and so pick a day, pick more than one day to enjoy the holiday and leave the cooking to Epic. And please join us on Thursday, December 13th for a celebration of Israel with special guest Nina Yahalomi, the community shlichah for the Israel Emissary Program of the Jewish Federation of Metropolitan Detroit. The event includes dinner and an Israeli dance lesson. For more information and to register, check the Sisterhood page on Temple's website. And if you'd like any more information on any of these programs, I think you can look on the table outside. And on behalf of the executives and the Board of Trustees, I wish you Shabbat Shalom. Thanks.
I think it's so great that tonight we had our Hillel Shabbat dinner on a night when we discussed Hillel and Shammai, because it's called Hillel Day School, not Shammai Day School, right? But what's nice about it is that they say that Hillel was so great not only in his arguments and his legal rulings, but also that he made it his business for his house of learning to preserve the words of Shammai's house of learning. So it's a lesson to us all. So there have been many Hillel students and many other young people who've been sitting so beautifully through services. So as we turn to page 189 for the Aleinu, I would like to call them up. And we have a bunch of people celebrating things. Phyllis and Gary Levitt, Fran and Bruce Finsilver, Barbara and Alan Ben are all celebrating their 50th wedding anniversaries. So for sure, wish them a mazal tov when you see them. Please rise. Please be seated. It's pretty awesome, huh? 50 years? So we know even at moments of greatest simcha, even at weddings, we break a glass to remind us that things are never quite perfect. And sometimes we feel that way when we're remembering people who have died. something feels just a little bit imperfect. So remember those in our congregational community who have died in the past 30 days, the period of Shloshim. Dan Arnold, Mary Bistro, Dennis Chatlin, Gerald Curtis, Joel Fenley, Jerome Goldstein, Miriam Gorin, Ernest Greenblatt, Leonard Jacobson, Fred Keywell, Dr. Gerald Krause, Rosalind Lazier, Bobby Levine, Harvey Mann, Nancy Miller, Donald Newman, Joni Rappaport, Alex Rhodes, Daniel Richmond, Martin Rosenfeld, Sidney Ross, Rita Rubin, Jay Rupp, Alfred Spiegel, David Weiner, Arlene Weinberger, Rose Winogren, and Selma Yanover. We recall those also whose yortzites occur on this Shabbat: Harry Archambault, Henry Arkin, Betty Baines, Faye Beckwith, Herman Canner, Karen Schutz, Leslie Colburn, Ann Coleman, Leonard Galper, Robert Geller, Harry Goldberg, Karen Goldfein, Rose Greenberg, Jerry Cantor, Philip Katz, Anna Commissar, Goldie Levin, Bella Linden, Honora Lipson, William Light, Patricia Lockman, Francis Moretsky, Benjamin Murov, David Pallier, Gail Ann Saney, Judy Schramm, Shirley Seffinger, Dr. Philip Sherman, A. Albert Sugar, Gertrude Unterberger, Claire Winnick, Rose Wolfe, Michael Yendick, Charles Schwartz, Dolores Wolfe, Jeremy Money, Hy Goldman, Bernice Emmer Berger, Harvey Rubin, Sheldon Green, Al Baker, William Goose, Irving Sonny Blatt, Marty Stein, Benjamin Buddy Greenwald, Albert Davids, Lothar Davids, Flora Stahlberg Weisberg, Lindsay Finsilver, Jay Fry, Isaac Melner, Laura Levine, Meyer Lieb, Joe Lynn Rosenstein, William Weinstock, Harry Coleman, Robert Lowenberg, Joshua Short, Jack Rosenthal, Bertha Rosenthal, Mary Stutz, Benny Grabowski, William Robert Schwartz, Norma Galper, Saul Strager, Mary Kelman, and Phyllis Kelman. We remember them with love and honor them with words of Kaddish, which can be found on page 199. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dochol beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam le'olmei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'halal shemei dekudesha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We pray that the source of peace sends peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved among us. Amen.
Yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom